Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and last time we discussed how Krishna he sent Akrura to Hastinapur to find out the well-being of the Pandavas. And Akrura he went and spent many months in Hastinapur trying to find out the uh, motives of Dhritarashtra and all the Kauravas. He met with Kunti Maharani and he met with Vidura, and they told everything, all the intentions of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. And Kunti Maharani, she started offering beautiful prayers with a very sorrowful heart, crying for the mercy of Krishna. And then as Akrura was returning back, he met with Dhritarashtra, and he told that please be equipoised towards your nephews also. And he gave lots of wonderful instructions. Dhritarashtra said, all your instructions, they are very good, but they do not stay in my heart, and just like the lightning does not stay in the sky, all those instructions which you are giving me, although they are very good and amazing, but they don't stay in my heart. So that's what we discussed. So then in the next chapter, which is entitled Krishna Establishes the City of Dwarka. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he begins this chapter by offering his obeisances to his spiritual master, and he tells that, may I use my intelligence to explain the second half of the 10th canto. So now we have completed the first half of the 10th canto, and now the second half of the 10th canto is beginning. And Chakravarti Thakur, he describes, let my intelligence be able to explain the next half of the 10th canto. So Shukdev Goswami tells that, Kamsa's wives, after Kamsa was killed by Krishna, so Kamsa had two wives, Asti and Prapti. So they were the daughters of Jarasandha. So after the death of their husband, they went to their father's place in great distress. And Jiva Goswami tells that actually, because now Krishna sent Akrura to Hastinapur and he sent Uddhava to Gokul, so he should have continued with those topics. But, Shukdev Goswami begins the description of the great battles and the other topics in the middle of all those, things. So these two wives of Kamsa, they went and they told how Kamsa was killed and how they had become widows, Jarasandha. He was full of anger and he was very sorrowful. And then he decided to do the greatest endeavor possible. And he wanted to, you know, make the earth free of the Yadavas. So with 23 Akshohini divisions, he charged at the city of Mathura, and he surrounded Mathura on all the sides. So Lord, when he saw Lord Krishna, who has descended in a human form, so whenever Lord does any uh, action or a role, just like in a drama, a player, artist, if he does the role very nicely, then nobody can even realize that who is this personality playing this role. So when Lord performs a particular role in a particular incarnation, he does it very nicely. So when he saw that his entire city was surrounded by the army of Jarasandh, it was like army of Jarasandh was like an ocean. 23 Akshohini divisions. In Kurukshetra war, there were only 18 Akshohini divisions. Jarasandh brought 23 Akshohini divisions. So when Krishna, he saw such a huge army, he also became thoughtful for some time as to how to deal with this army. And he saw that all his subjects were becoming fearful. So he thought, according to time, place, and circumstance, what to do. So did Krishna really worry about what to do? No, actually there was no necessity for him to worry, but because he was acting as a human, he performed this pastime. So Sridhar Swami, he describes that how, what was the thoughts of Krishna? Krishna was thinking, should I defeat Jarasandh or should I kill his army and leave Jarasandh, or should I kill Jarasandh and take the army for myself, or should I kill Jarasandh and the army both? What should I do? So as Krishna was thinking like this, he ultimately decided what to do. So he thought, since I have come to destroy the burden of the earth, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata, that is the purpose of Lord's appearance, to establish the principles of religion and to annihilate the irreligious people. So he thought, since I have come to destroy the burden of the earth, so I will destroy the army brought by this Jarasandh, and I'll not kill Jarasandh. I'll leave Jarasandh so that he'll bring another army. Because that is the purpose of my incarnation. The purpose of my incarnation is to relieve the earth of its burden, to establish the pious people, and to destroy the impious people, to kill the impious. So therefore, I will assume so many forms to protect the principles of dharma. So Shukdev Goswami continued. So as Lord Govinda was thinking in this way, two very, very effulgent chariots descended from the Vaikuntha Loka, directly from the Vaikuntha. The two effulgent chariots, they descended. And in those chariots were all the personal, eternal weapons of Krishna and Balram. All eternal divine weapons were there. So the Lord, when he saw that these two chariots had assembled, he spoke to Balram. Lord said, "O Balram, just see the danger which has come now. And now your chariot has come, your personal weapons have come. So the personal weapon of Balram is plow, and the weapons of Krishna is Sudarshan, Saranga. Saranga is the name of the Krishna's bow, and Gada, Kaumudaki. Balramji also carries a Gada. So Krishna is telling Balram, oh, now your chariot has come, your weapons have come. Now please destroy the burden of the earth. So actually Lord is telling, although you can destroy all these demons, all these soldiers without even your weapons, but just accept your weapons because they are very, very dear to you. So in this way, Krishna and Balram, they were wearing their armor and they drove out of the city, with a very little army. So in front of the 23 Akshayani divisions of Jarasandh, they came out, Krishna and Balram came out with just a little army. And as Lord came out with Dwaruka, the chariot driver of Krishna is called Daruka. So Lord came out with Daruka as his chariot driver. He had a conch in his hand. He blew his conch. And when the conch of Krishna was blown, it created a fear in the heart of the enemies. Their hearts began to tremble in fear. And just by the conch shell, blowing of the conch shell, Lord took away the courage of all the soldiers. So that is the power. That's why Lord is called Hari. Hari means one who takes away the courage of all the soldiers. So when Jarasandh, he saw Krishna and Balram, he told Krishna, "Oh Krishna, you are the lowest of the men. You are Naradhama. I do not wish to fight with you alone because you are just a mere boy and it would be shame for me to fight with you, just a mere boy. You are a fool. You are a manda, and you have kept yourself hidden in this Yadu dynasty, and for so many years you were there in the Gokul hidden. You are a manda, you are a fool, you are a murderer of your own relatives. You are a bandhu han. That's how these demons are. Although Kamsa was such a powerful demon, and he was creating such havoc in the society, but still, Jarasandh is telling, oh, you are killer of your relatives. You killed your own maternal uncle. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he describes that how these words, they are actually the glorification of Krishna. He calls Krishna as Purushadhama, oh, lowest of the man. Actually meaning is, in front of Krishna, all other personalities are inferior. All the other Purushas, they are Adham, they are lower than Krishna. And he called Krishna as a Balaka, a small child. But actually what he's saying, he's telling that in front of you, even Brahma is like a Bala. In front of you, even Brahma is like a child, And therefore, I am ashamed to fight and stand in front of you. I am not qualified. You are hidden. You are Guptena. Guptena means you have kept yourself hidden because nobody can see you if he does not have a pure desire. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti. Only a devotee who has his eyes anointed with the salve of love can see Krishna. You are Manda. Actually saying you are Amanda. You are most important one. And you are Bandhuhan. You are not the killer of your relatives. You destroy all the bondage. Bandhu, all the bandha. All the bondage of the living entities are destroyed by taking your shelter, oh my Lord. So that's how it is described, whenever some demons, they start criticizing Krishna or Vishnu. Mother Saraswati sits on the tongue of that demon and speaks such words which will glorify Krishna. So Jarasandha, he tells now Balram, he says, oh Balram, you should fight with me. You should gather courage and you should fight with me. And as you are fighting with me, three things will happen. You will give up your body, or you will go to heaven, or you will kill me. So actually he is acknowledging that I can also be killed, because he thought that Balram is very powerful. Supreme Lord said, Krishna said, he started, addressing Jarasandha. He said, real heroes do not simply boast, but rather they show their prowess by their actions. I cannot take seriously the words of one who is full of anxiety and one who is about to die. So very strong words, Krishna is telling. He's telling you are about to die, and I don't take words of you seriously. So in this way, the battle started. Just as the wind covers, Shukdev Goswami says, just as the wind covers the sun with the clouds, or a fire may get covered with the dust, the armies of Jarasandha covered Krishna and Balram's chariots. So these two analogies are very significant. Clouds covering the sun and the dust covering the fire. Actually, the sun is never covered. It seemed to get covered, but sun is never covered by the clouds. Similarly, Krishna and Balram, they are never overpowered by the enemies. It seemed like that. And as Krishna and Balram, they were fighting, all the ladies of Mathura, they were watching, they were standing on the towers, watchtowers, and they were looking what was happening on the battlefield. And when they saw the army, when they saw that the chariot of Krishna and Balram is not seen, the chariot of Krishna was marked with the emblem of Garuda, and the chariot of Balram had an emblem of palm tree. They were not able to see. It was covered by the clouds of arrows. The ladies, they started fainting. They were completely struck by grief, and they started fainting. So when Krishna, he saw, oh, my devotees, they are in such pain, he overpowered those arrows. He started shooting arrows at such a speed, it seemed he was taking out the arrows from his quiver, putting on the bow and releasing the arrows, and again, taking out another arrow. The movement of Krishna taking out arrow and putting on the bow and shooting, it was like a circle of blazing fire. It was so very fast. It was nirantar. It was continuously going on. So the actions, although they were in consequence, one after another, but it seemed that they are happening simultaneously, because that was the speed with which Krishna was shooting arrows. And as Krishna shot arrows, the entire battlefield became full of rivers of blood. Elephants, they fell to the ground. Their foreheads were, split open. The horses, their necks were cut. Chariots, they were falling apart with their flags, and chariot drivers and all the warriors who were there on the chariots, they were falling apart. Foot soldiers, they were getting collapsed with their arms and thighs getting severed. The description of battlefield was ghastly. It was full of blood. Rivers of blood were flowing. 23 Akshauhini divisions getting killed. Rivers of blood was flowing. The elephants, the dead elephants, they were like the little islands in that river. The horses, they were like they were looking like the crocodiles. The bows, they were looking like the waves of the ocean. The hair, human hair, was looking like a moss. So in this way, it was a very ghastly scene. The chariot wheels were floating in the river of blood, which was looking like a whirlpool. In this way, Krishna and Balram, they destroyed the entire army of Jarasandha. Balram with his plow destroyed the entire army. स्थित्युद्भवान्तं भुवनत्रयस्य य समीहिते अनन्तगुणस्वलीलया न तस्य चित्रं परपक्षनिग्रहस्तथापि मर्त्यानुविधस्य वर्ण्यते. So somebody may get astonished, how could Krishna and Balram do this, alone? So Shukdev Goswami says it is not astonishing. Who is Krishna and Balram? He is creator, maintainer and destroyer of the entire universe. Sthiti, Udbhava, Anta. Maintenance, creation and destructions of all the three worlds is brought by Krishna personally. Just by his potencies, Krishna is orchestrating all these wonderful pastimes. So it is no astonishment that Krishna subdued the entire army, 23 Akshohini divisions, single-handedly. So that's how when Krishna appears in this world, he performs so many of the beautiful human pastimes, which can, go beyond all the logic, all the human logic. So Jarasandh, having lost all his soldiers and his chariot, he was left only with breath. He was just so very miserable. He was humbled. He was so very humiliated. And Balram, on top of that, he started, binding Jarasandh with the Varuna Pash, the noose of Varuna, divine rope of Varuna. And then he thought, oh, divine rope is too much for this Jarasandh. So he started binding Jarasandh with normal ropes to humiliate him even more. When Krishna, he saw Balram binding Jarasandh, he told him to stop. And he left. He released Balram. He released Jarasandh. So Jarasandh, he was so very ashamed as he was left, by Balram. He started thinking what to do now. He decided to undergo penances. He wanted to get more strength so that he could defeat Krishna and Balram in future. But at this point of time, he became so very disheartened, so very despondent, that he thought, oh, I will never be able to kill and defeat Krishna and Balram. So let me go to the forest and do tapasya. But on the way, there were several kings. They used lots of philosophical logic, and they gave some spiritual wisdom to Jarasandh. They told that, your sorrow of a defeat is a result of your karma. You must have done some karma in the past. That's why you had to face this defeat. Why you are taking it so seriously? Everybody has to suffer the actions of their karma. So don't take this thing so very seriously. And after all, Krishna and Balram, they are just small boys. If the lion of Jarasandh defeats a black deer Krishna, you do not gain any preeminence. And similarly, even if you do not win over them, there is no much bad name. So why you are getting so much disturbed by all that? Just try again. So in this way, all these kings, they started teaching Jarasandh lots of philosophical knowledge and spiritual wisdom. And ultimately, Jarasandh agreed. He agreed to, gather the army again and again, strike back. So Jarasandh, although all his army was defeated and killed, he sadly went back to his kingdom. So on the other hand, now Krishna and Balram, when they went back to Mathura, it was a great celebration. All the residents of Mathura, they were so very happy and delighted. The residents of heaven, the Devatas, the Gandharvas, Charanas, they were glorifying Krishna and Balram. They were showering flowers and All the Mathuravasis, their anxiety was relieved. Many, many types of musical instruments were being played. Entire city was decorated. You know, that's the beauty of Krishna. That's the beauty of the Dwarka. Whenever Krishna does something wonderful, entire city of Mathura, not Dwarka, Mathura, entire city of Mathura is decorated. That's the happiness of Mathuravasis. They want to glorify Krishna always. You know, that is the happiness of a devotee. A devotee always wants to see his Lord being glorified. That's why Lord is called as Uttama Shloka, one who is glorified in choicest verses. And when Lord is glorified, Lord does not gain anything. The devotee gets benefited. Just like when you water the root of the tree, entire tree gets nourished. Similarly, when you glorify Krishna, he becomes happy and satisfied, and we become happy and satisfied. Just like Prahlad Maharaj says, Tachatmane pratimukhasya yatha mukha Shri. When you decorate yourself, your image in the mirror gets decorated. When you glorify Krishna, when you satisfy Krishna, when you please Krishna, we also get satisfied and happy. So therefore all the Mathuravasis, they glorified and they rejoiced over the victory of Krishna and Balram. All the city women, they were so very happy, looking very affectionately at Krishna and Balram, and they started scattering all the auspicious things on them. They scattered flower, garlands, yogurt, unbroken rice, newly grown sprouts. In this way, it was a wonderful festive atmosphere in Mathura. And Krishna also, in response, he presented all the wealth to all the Mathuravasis. In this way, Jarasandha, he went back. Again, he gathered an army of 23 Akshohini divisions. Again, he came back and he attacked. In this way, he attacked. Again, he was defeated. Again, he went back. In this way, he was defeated 17 times. You know, every time Jarasandha was defeated by Krishna and Balram, every time he would think, oh, enough of this, I want to go to the forest. Every time some of his friends, the other kings, would come and they would give some pep talk to Jarasandha. Oh, Jarasandha, ye to hota rehta hai. You know, in the war, some people win, some people lose. Why are you becoming so very sad and morose? Please try next time. Surely you will win. In this way, 17 times it happened. And that's how Krishna, he annihilated all the demoniac powers. All the demoniac kings were killed. And Krishna did not have to do anything much. He was just at one place. He did not have to run around and kill all the miscreants and the demoniac kings. He knew, if I just leave this one Jarasandha, he will bring all the sinful people and I'll kill all of them. That's how Krishna was such a wonderful strategist. He knew how to do things efficiently. Then, after 17 times being defeated by Krishna, 18th time, Jarasandha was preparing to attack again. But when the 18th battle was about to begin, there was another king called Kalayavan. He was a Yavana, barbarian. He was sent by Narada. He also came with 30 million soldiers. He came with 30 million soldiers and attacked Mathura from all the sides. Who is this Kalayavan, and why Narada told Kalayavan to attack Mathura? So there is a story which comes in Vishnu Puran. So in Vishnu Puran it is described that once the son of Garga, He was ridiculed by his brother-in-law as eunuch, you know. And as he was being called as eunuch, the Yadavas, you know, they were there nearby, and they laughed very strongly. They had a hearty laugh. Infuriated by such laughter, Gargya, the son of Garga, he set out for the north, thinking, may I have a son who will bring terror to the heart of these Yadavas. So it is very, very interesting that whenever somebody is criticized and somebody is made fun of, it is so very natural to laugh. But we have to be really careful. If we are not, very alert, then we may have to suffer the repercussions. Yadavas had nothing to do with that. They did not chastise or criticize or made fun of Gargya. It was a brother-in-law of Gargya who made fun of him. But just because Yadavas laughed, this person, he took a vow. So therefore it happens many times, if two devotees are making fun of, one devotee is making fun of other and a few others are laughing. So if the devotee is enjoying the, fun and chastisement, then it is good. But if the devotee who is getting chastised or criticized or ridiculed, he does not like it, and others are laughing, it becomes a Vaishnava aparadh. So we have to be really, really careful, especially in the devotee circle, not to get entangled in this Vaishnava aparadh. It is very, very deadly. So this Gargya, he went to the south and he worshipped Mahadev. He was eating powdered iron, and in this way for 12 years he worshipped Lord Mahadev. And then as a result of that austerity, Lord Shiva was pleased. He gave benedictions and he returned back. So later, as he came back, there was a king of Yavana. He was childless. He came to this Gargya and pleaded to give them a son. So Gargya impregnated the wife of this Yavana king, and by that this Kala Yavan was born. So because Kala Yavan, Gargya was given this benediction by Lord Shiva. So Kala Yavan possessed the fury of Lord Shiva. He was very, very powerful and angry. So once he asked Narada, who are now the strongest kings on earth? And Narad said, Yadus are the strongest now. So when he heard this, Kalevan, he brought all his armies and attacked Mathura. So Krishna, when he saw that now Jarasandha is about to come, he may come today or tomorrow, and now this Kalevan is already there. He's already attacking us. So he told Balram that now Mathura is in danger from both the sides. Although, Krishna had defeated Jarasandha 17 times and he could have destroyed Kalevan immediately. But because Lord Shiva had given benediction to Kalevan, so therefore Krishna wanted to honor the benedictions of Lord Shiva. So therefore he did not destroy Kalevan. So Krishna told Balram that this Yavana has seized our city and Jarasandha may arrive today or tomorrow. We have to do something. If Jarasandha comes and if we are busy fighting with Kalayavan, then Jarasandha may kill all our relatives. So therefore what we should do? We should construct a fortress. We should construct such a powerful fortress where no human can enter. And then we should settle our families there and then we'll kill this Yavana king. So in this verse, Krishna uses plural term, So Krishna could create the Dwarka fort, single-handedly, but he is using plural term. We should create just to respect Balram. You know. So he says that, you know, we will transfer all our residents to Dwarka, and then we will kill this Jarasandha, and then we'll kill this Kalayavan. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes that why Krishna made this Dwarka. First, he gives three reasons. He says, first, Mathura was too small, because now Krishna understood that now with my and all the Yadavas coming here, the population is going to increase much. All our armies, our friends, our relatives, everybody will be there. And then the soldiers will be there. And the Mathura is not a very big place. It will become crowded. And as a result of that, even Vrindavan will become crowded. So therefore, we'll have to make another place which is much, much bigger. So with this thought in the mind, Krishna, he created Dwarka. Dwarka was 12 yojanas in circumference. It was a very, very huge city. So his concern was, not just for Yadus. He was thinking that now I have begun my pastimes of killing all the demoniac people, and Vrindavan Vasis, Brajavasis should not get affected by all that. Because if some of the demons, after being defeated by me, if they understand that, okay, Brajavasis are very dear to Krishna, then they made trouble Brajavasis also. So in order to make a very, very bold announcement, if I shift myself from Mathura to Dwarka, what people will think? Oh, Krishna has become indifferent to all the Brajavasis. So there is no good doing harm to all these Brajavasis, because Krishna is anyways not concerned about them. So in that sense, they will not do any harm to Brajavasis. And now almost I have, third reason almost I have already, allayed the fear of separation, pain of separation of Brajavasis by sending Uddhava. So they are also a little bit pacified now. So even if I shift away from this place, they will not be troubled so much. So with all these things in the mind, Krishna, he created a very, very huge and very powerful fort of Dwarka. It was a fortress, 12 yojanas in circumference, and inside this fortress, he built beautiful city. This city of Dwarka contained everything, And Shukdev Goswami describes the wonderful things which were there in Dwarka city. So this Dwarka city was made by Vishwakarma, the architect of the heavenly planets, and he had used all his scientific knowledge and the architectural skills in making this Dwarka fort. This Dwarka had wide avenues, very long, very spacious paths. The courtyards were there, and there were splendid parks, beautiful gardens with all flowering trees and fruit trees. The gardens were having all the flowers. There were tall canopies. There were on the top of the gateway towers, there were completely gold studded canopies. The houses were covered with gold. The rooftops were inlaid with emeralds. And the floors were also inlaid with precious stones. So everything in the Dwarka was very beautifully made. There were ample space for everything. Every building had a watchtower, and a temple for the worship of Lord Vishnu. The entire city was full of the people of four varnas and the ashramas. It was a very well designed city. Indra, he brought Sudharma assembly palace from heaven. The beauty of the Sudharma assembly palace was anybody who entered this palace, he would not suffer any of the uh, pains of this world, any of the miseries of this world, he would not suffer. And Indra also gave Parijat tree. Varuna gave horses. He offered horses which were as swift as the mind. Some were dark blue, some were white, and Kuvera, he gave 8 mystic treasures which would never exhaust. So because Krishna is a supreme lord and all the devtas, they are servants of Krishna, and they knew that Krishna is our supreme lord. So all the devatas, they came and they gave some offering as a symbol of gratitude. So after this, Dwarka city was made very nicely, perfectly. Krishna, he transferred all the residents from Mathura to Dwarka overnight. He called his Yogamaya potency, and all the Brajvasis, all the Mathuravasis, they were taking rest. And Krishna, without their knowledge, he transferred all of them from Mathura to Dwarka overnight. And he told Balram that you stay here and you protect Mathura, because some people, some citizens were still there in Mathura along with Balram. So Krishna told Balram that you please stay here and you protect Mathura. And Krishna, he alone, wearing a beautiful garland of lotuses, having a very gentle smile on his face, without carrying any weapons, he came out of the city to fight with Kal Yavan. So that is the wonderful description of the Dwarka city, and how Krishna, he transferred all the residents from Dwarka, from Mathura to Dwarka, and he fulfilled, because Lord Shiva had given a promise, had given a benediction to Kalayavan that he will bring terror in the heart of Yadavas. So just to honor that benediction, Krishna did not kill Muchkunda. He just ran away from that place. That will be discussed in the next chapter. So we'll stop here today. We'll continue next time with the 51st chapter. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.